first game of the CONCACAF Women's Qualifiers for this group. I'm Jordan Angeli, excited to be alongside you guys throughout the entirety of this match. Should be a good one from two teams that are looking to make their road to the CONCACAF Women's Championship later on this summer. We'll get into all the nitty-gritty of how they can make that happen. But for right now, you see the teams making their way across the pitch, and this is the first of the games in this group. Excuse me, the group games for Group F started yesterday as Guyana took on Dominica, and they put 4 goals up against them and took all 3 points from that match. Both of these teams have the opportunity to play 2 games at home and 2 games away in 2 different FIFA windows, one right now in February and then the next one in April. So this is the first of 2 games that Trinidad and Tobago will host their home stadium in the Port of Spain. As the teams get ready to line up, come out onto the field, and I'll be back with you after both teams go through the national anthems, and I'll come back with starting lineups and the kickoff for this one between Trinidad and Tobago and Nicaragua. Thanks for joining along in this CONCACAF Women's Qualifier between the host Trinidad and Tobago and the visiting side Nicaragua. I'm Jordan Angeli. Looking forward to this match. It's the second one played now in Group F. And for the home squad, you can see Trinidad and Tobago in their full red kits. You can see the starting 11 here for Trinidad and Tobago. Kamika Forbes, the 32-year-old, will start in goal. There are some players with some experience along in this squad. Karen Forbes, 32-year-old with 19 caps to her name, and then Lauren Hutchinson will play outside left wing back. A 5-4-1 for Kenwin Jones and his squad. Looks like a beautiful day in Port of Spain. A mostly Mexican staff keeping this one under wraps, as Lizette Garcia will be the center official. For Nicaragua, Elena Dixon is their head coach, and they will be lined up in what looks like a 4-3-3. Bethany Alberto will start in goal. And the top three, Calcero, Rivera, and Flores, will look to help them occupy that back five for Trinidad and Tobago. Nicaragua in their all-white kits. Trinidad and Tobago in the red, black, and red. Looks like we're all set here to go. The Hasely Crawford Stadium. Beautiful venue right in the heart of Port of Spain. Looks like a nearly perfect day to play some football. 87 degrees, overcast slightly. You can hear the little bit of breeze as it hits our field mics there. Big matchup in Group F for the CONCACAF Women's Qualifiers. The winner of the group will advance to the championship this summer. This is the first step. We're underway. Nicaragua come into this matchup having played a handful of games last year to help them in preparation. A couple of tough losses at the end of the year to Costa Rica. The progress this squad has made just to get that many international games, 6 international games on their docket last year. They possess up the left side. That's Lilith Rivera in the collision with Liana Hins. Hins, the 26-year-old. Big challenge there. Trinidad and Tobago, no stranger to these big games. Got themselves into the CONCACAF Women's Championship back in 2018, looking to try to qualify for the World Cup in 2019. It's a tough group they were in, but the experience that they gained in those games has helped them. Here's Lauren Hutchinson. Now Ray Belgrave sends it up the left wing on the ball. cutting back. Trinidad and Tobago taking it up the far side. Cross in, and there's 3 players in the mix. It looked like maybe a player there from Trinidad and Tobago might have gotten hand in the face as they go all the way back to their goalkeeper, Kamika Forbes. Trying to possess out of the back. It's misplayed, and hand up right away from Belgrave. Apologizing for not being able to handle that. Kelsey Perez to get the ball back in play. Silva back to Perez. Some nice footwork from Perez. She's got a couple of players in the mix. This ball, though, goes straight to Forbes. Not going to be dangerous enough to test the experienced goalkeeper. You can see how much the wind just affected the punt there, holding the ball up straight in the air. Entry ball. Really nice build up here. Sent out to the wing by Asha James. Here's Kayla McFarlane trying to bring in Amaya Ellis. Doesn't quite connect. Will be Hines with the restart. Swift. Headed away by Nicaragua. It's a tough collision there. Ball right off the side of the face. Good pressure by Karen Forbes. Most experienced player for this Trinidad and Tobago squad. 19 caps to her name. First started qualifying with this team back in 2008, so she's been through a few cycles, knows what it takes. That's the kind of experience that you want to have on a roster that is filled with a lot of young pieces for Kenwyn Jones and this Trinidad team. Handful of players right around that 20-year-old mark. And you sprinkle in some of the experience like Forbes and Hutchinson. Going to rely on them as Hutchinson connects here. Swung around the back, Hines. Takes some space, good connection through Asha James. Nice work here on the dribble. James taking a couple players. Decides to settle and keep it. Running onto it. It's Ketty Johnson. The CONCACAF Women's Qualifiers is 30 teams in the CONCACAF region, all vying for 6 spots. So it's broken into 6 different groups, 5 teams in each group. The winner of each group will then advance to the CONCACAF Women's Championship this summer in Monterrey. We see some foot race here between Belgrave and Flores. Looked like Belgrave thought she had it right away. Flores right on her heels. A good spot for Nicaragua to win the ball back, which they do. But can't successfully send it in the box is Samiri Valderena. So to earn one of those 6 spots, you have to be best in your group. 2 games at home, 2 games away, in 2 different qualifying windows here through the spring. This one in February and then an upcoming one in April as Nicaragua with a good through ball. Forbes comes off her line to successfully scoop it up. But some good looks early on for Nicaragua trying to get through this back 3, back 5 shape of Trinidad and Tobago. Little pressure by Flores. Now it's Villarena. Hutchinson connects out the other side. Victoria Swift. Jacqueline Gilday on the ball there, number 4 for Nicaragua. Plays at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. She's a Florida native, but has played with this Nicaraguan squad through the youth ranks and now with the senior national team. She played in the U20 championship a couple years ago for Nicaragua and was the only player on the squad to score a goal. She gets to hold that record for now. 21-year-old. Playing in the center of midfield for Nicaragua. So we get a foul called on the far side. Ellis just gets knocked over by Rivera there. You can see Kenwin Jones on the sideline, the head coach. A lot of experience when it comes to not only being a player for the Trinidad Tobago men's team, but on the pro side as well. So his squad can't get the ball in. It's going to be difficult to play a high lofted ball with the wind going against them in those situations. You can see the corner flag and the breeze that is coming across the field from left to right, making it difficult to play any type of ball. We saw it there with Hutchinson. We've seen it with Forbes and her punts. She opts to go a little bit lower with this one, more successful. It gets flicked on by Forbes. Then all the way back to the other Forbes in net. Belgrave again opts to go over the top. Nice little heel pass by Johnson. Forbes keeps it alive. Hutchinson turns it over, and here comes Nicaragua. So nice looking through ball. Yesenia Flores, the intended end target, but the ideas Nicaragua have are opposite of what Trinidad and Tobago have. I think some adaptation with those through balls. They're going to have to be a little bit softer with the amount of wind going in that direction. Forbes is eager off her line to come scoop those up. But there's some ideas for both clubs, for both teams, excuse me, already up front. Marie-Frances Sarant tries to go over her head, ends up giving it away, but one right back by Johnson. Sarant still after it, just cleared out of bounds, out of danger by Martha Silva. Center back for Nicaragua. Asha James, tough tackle here. And that's Diana Calero down on the field, grabbing her right foot. Up quickly, but this challenge just well drawn, I would say, in the end by Calero. But she knows that pressure from Trinidad and Tobago is going to come. They've done a good job of high pressing in situations where Nicaragua is trying to come out of the back. Played to the far side. Humphreys receives it once again. And this is Silva. Silva looking long. 3 intended targets. Nearly tackled it away. Nice touch on the far side. On the dribble is Nicaragua. Here come Trinidad and Tobago. Nice build-up. Sarant looking for James. The two can't quite connect. You can see the intention, and it's there for those two to connect straight down the middle. Mentioned earlier, this is Group F. Yesterday was the first game day for Group F. And Guyana hosted Dominica to a 4-0 win for the home side. So right as it stands right now in Group F, Guyana is on top of the table with a +4 goal differential. We had one game in Group E, Cuba taking down St. Vincent and the Grenadines. El Salvador took down Belize 6-0. So in Group D, they sit on top of that one with a 6-goal differential. Dominican Republic and Grenada met in Group C. Dominican Republic won that one. Guatemala and the Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands played. Guatemala with a win there, as we're going to see our first yellow card. Keedy Johnson coming in. The big challenge there. On Villarreina, who's still slow to get up. Those are the balls that are most challenging in these games, where the wind is blowing. The surface seems to be playing a little bit bouncy. Those plays in the middle of the field, those 50 challenges can prove difficult. Then finally in Group A, Puerto Rico played Barbuda, and they took them 4 goals against them. So every host team yesterday, this ball goes all the way over, ended up winning their game, and no team that hosted gave up 1 goal. So Trinidad and Tobago might have looked at that, feeling a little confident going into this game. The ball sent to the far post. Nicaragua here. Shot across the goal, stopped by Liana Hines. Nicaragua trying to change the narrative and get an away goal here in this match. Good look at Keedy Johnson. Just got the yellow card there. 21-year-old has played at Florida International University. 50 appearances over her time there. Little through ball. Hutchinson now plays it back. It's James! She puts it away. Ooh. You gotta like it. A little celebration. Asha James puts the home squad on top, 1-0. It's Hutchinson with the assist. A nice little slip touch there by James to get past the first defender. Big celebrations by the entire Trinidad and Tobago team. As James scores in the 17th minute. Nicaragua coming the other way. Villarreina keeps it. Good looking ball to the back post, slips off the head of Yesenia Flores. A little bit of bend though helped keep it away from Forbes, who's played well in net so far, at least coming off her line, knowing that the wind is going to carry the ball a little bit more to her in those situations as Trinidad and Tobago get the ball back on the ground. Start to build around. Pressure on the ball by James, the goal scorer in Nicaragua. Have shown some good ability to pass around the back. Some nice entry balls to the forwards and attacking midfielders as well. But this pressure by Trinidad and Tobago is being cheered on by their head coach, Kenwin Jones. Tough challenge there, and is going to get a talking to is Ketty Johnson, who needs to be careful. That is a tough foul for her after just getting a yellow card. Lizette Garcia says no more. Sure, head coach Jones saying the same thing. You got to keep your head in these situations. We saw a red card last night in the game in Group F between Guyana and Dominica in the 28th minute, so a little bit later than this. Straight red card. That can affect the games so much. Ketty Johnson, maybe a little lucky to stay on after what could have been another yellow card challenge. Belgrave finds Ellis. To the far side, good overlapping run by Hines. She's gonna get it here. Runners in the box. Hines can't get it past the first defender, but nice pressure by her teammates to keep it alive. And at least in their attacking third for now. Here's a good look at the goal, just between two players. A little sachet from James, using both feet to execute what turned out to be the first goal of this game. Pushes it away with her left, gets a little space, and then sends it past Alberto. Johnson defending deep in her own half, just sends it away. Good pressure by Nicaragua. Nicaragua will host Turks and Caicos on the 22nd as they just take another big challenge. Oyana Callero on the ground there. She's gotten knocked down a couple of times. She finds her way into the box. Try to make something happen here as you get a good look at the challenge. Well drawn by the forward. Flores, set and ready to send this one in. Might challenge Forbes, but not enough on it. for La Azul and Blanco. Trying to go over the top, and the ball just gets held up in the wind. Trinidad and Tobago win it back to the corner. Good run by McFarland off the defender, and she earns a corner kick for Trinidad and Tobago. First corner kick of the game here. Looks like the goal scorer, Ash James, is going to be the one to take it. If you look at Jones, quite the resume, former men's national team star for Trinidad and Tobago. Started versus England in the 2006 World Cup. That game they ended up losing 2-0 by goals by Peter Crouch and Stephen Gerrard. But now he watches his team, hoping they can get a goal on this one. To the back post, deflected off of Gilday, and it'll be the second corner, opposite side. Another opportunity here for Trinidad and Tobago. Johnson. Take it. Be a left-footed outswinger here. Alberto readies herself in net. The top of the box. Hutchinson controls it. Trying to bring Johnson back in, but a nice clearing, diving header by Nicaraguan. They might have a chance here on the break. Good dribbling by Flores, but even better defending by Trinidad and Tobago. Trying to catch Trinidad and Tobago with a lot of players up for that corner kick on a counterattack. Alana Dixon has to be happy with the way that her team has been defending so far. Shot across, or play across. The deflection off of Sarant kindly goes into the arms of Alberto. It's good work on the far side. McFarland just tries to make something happen. Silva for Nicaragua. With her clearance, it just deflects off of Sarant and ends up being a pretty dangerous chance for Trinidad and Tobago. Nice pressure by Gilday. Nicaragua trying to keep it in their attacking third. They'll win it back at half field. Given away. And here comes McFarland again. Trying to get around the corner, ends up getting fouled. Lizette Garcia calls that challenge against Nicaragua. And that was Lisbeth Moreno just taking out the legs of McFarland. And this is a very similar spot to where Trinidad and Tobago had an opportunity early in the game. It was Hutchinson over the ball as well then. Just too much loft on it. With the wind, you're gonna have to drive it into the mix a little bit more. Cut through the wind, not allow it to get held up. We'll see what she decides to do. She's flanked by Hines. She goes to the middle of the box. It's flicked on, just cleared away. The last second there by Villarena. She's been all over the place so far defensively, putting pressure on the back line, and they're attacking third, and here just pushing the ball over the end line, giving up the third corner for Nicaragua, but not the second goal, which is all that matters. Asha James comes over. This time she'll Play an in-swinger. Your post. She'll get another crack at it. She goes short. It's a tough ball back to her. She does well with it. Johnson. Johnson has Forbes. She sent it to the back post. What a header! Belgrave. They're calling it offside. Well, Belgrave just went into beast mode there. Jumped over a couple players. So you see the whole buildup. Johnson sends it to Forbes. And then it's Belgrave coming in front of Alberto. Right away, the AR on the far side. Their flag up. Jessica Morales. It won't be a goal. A great opportunity, especially for Rhea Belgrave, 32-year-old. Playing in the back line. Was eager to write her name on the score sheet. Help her team get a 2-goal advantage, but it's going to be called off. But Trinidad and Tobago starting to feel it now. Finding a little bit more patience in their attack. Or they will. That one sent straight to Alberto. The advantage of the win. Alberto sends it all the way into the arms of Forbes on the other side. You've heard of keeper wars, but normally you don't see that in a match. Just going back and forth. That just gives you a little idea of how hard the wind is blowing. Swift gets around her defender. Can't connect with her front runners, and it's a shot from distance and right over the crossbar. It's a great look. Cheeky little play there from Shayla Flores. She just recognized Forbes was off her line. Decided to give it a try. And due to the weather there, 87 degrees, we're gonna have a cooling break in the middle of this half. Make sure CONCACAF is aware of the players' health and safety. Get them a little water. Here's a look again at the goal. We saw the 17th minute, Asha James with a little sashaying past her defender into the back of the net and celebrates with a little dance. As the cooling break continues, you can see some of the people that maintain the field, keeping everything looking good. The beautiful Hasely Crawford Stadium in Trinidad and Tobago. It's in Port of Spain. It opened in 1982. It was originally the National Stadium, but they changed the name to the Hasely Crawford Stadium after the first person from Trinidad and Tobago won an Olympic gold medal. In 1976, they named Hasely Crawford won that medal, and they wanted to name the stadium after him, so they changed it in 2001. So what an honor it is to be named after the first person from Trinidad and Tobago to win a gold medal for track and field. Probably proud watching these players from his home country represent their nation, and they're up 1-0 after the cooling break. We're back after it. There's a goal by Asha James in the 17th minute that got us to this point. And Kamika Forbes will restart the play. Wow, the wind. It's really something right now. Held the ball straight up in the air. It's a foul by Flores. I think Johnson wanted a card on that. She's the only one that has been given a card so far this game. It's taken out there by Flores. Sent across, Johnson looking for Sarant. Not going to be able to connect. Silva restarts it. She gets the ball back. The near side. Trying for give and go. It's going to be Calero who regains possession, but then her back pass gets taken away, and Trinidad and Tobago, we're looking for the through run of Forbes. James puts her arms up. I think Forbes wanted a little bit more to her feet. They'll get the ball right back. Maybe another opportunity for them to build something up here. Sarant all the way across. Not handled well. Taken away by McFarland. Alberto just, I think with the wind, she couldn't judge where the ball was going to be. Maybe got a little bit lucky there. Her team goes the other way. Nice ball to the wing. Villarena gets it taken off her foot by Johnson. Flores. Calero. Sent into the box, cleared away. You can just see how Forbes got a little hesitant there. Swift ends up sending it out of bounds, which is the safe decision. We'll have a restart with Kelsey Perez. She gets the ball back here. Perez, cleared away by Hutchinson, kept in by Flores. Sarant dribbling out of her defensive third. It works out for her, but swept away by Martha Silva, who gets taken out. That's going to be our second yellow card of the game. The first against Trinidad and Tobago, and it's Amaya Ellis for that strong challenge on Silva. It's a heavy touch. Just takes out Silva's plant foot. Nicaragua sending players into the box, trying to use the advantage of the wind right now. See if they can get one on the scoreboard before halftime. Near side. Still a lot of players in the box, but somehow it snuck through. Gilday gets in the mix, and they're gonna call a foul on Gilday there. It's Calero who ends up running through last second. I think that's Victoria Swift on the ground. It is. She gets up slowly. You just see her using her body. I think it's that after fall of Calero on her body when she's down on the ground. Maybe proving the worst of it. Good job by the center back. Keep the ball out of harm's way. Gilday and Sarant go up for it, and it's Sarant who wins it in the end. Ellis. Now Johnson. Hutchinson. Hutchinson gets past a couple. Silva takes it off her foot. I want to correct myself. I said it was the first yellow card to Trinidad and Tobago. It was actually their second. Both cards today have been against Trinidad and Tobago. Ellis and Johnson are in the book. Far side. McFarland sizing up her defender. Opts to go one-on-one. It's not going to be enough to get around Humphreys. Here's that little skill from Hutchinson. A Meg through the two players. Lauren Hutchinson has represented Trinidad and Tobago. Now this is her 8th cap for the full team. Went to Virginia Commonwealth University. Lived in that area ever since. Does a lot of coaching. Various youth teams and players in that area. Always proud to represent her home country as that ball headed towards her in the mix. Her teammates win it back. Good turn here. It's James, the goal scorer, finds Sarant. Where did the ball go? Both players fumbled, but the ball stayed exactly where it was. Sent to the wing. Nicaragua looking to build through the middle third. Nice skill by Flores. Sends it through. Might have been offside. It was. Good high line from Trinidad and Tobago. Because of the wind, those through balls, there's so many things that are difficult about it. The timing, the pace on the ball. If you play a little bit higher of a line, really makes that timing aspect even that much more challenging, and they timed that one well and pulled Nicaragua offside. Johnson finds Belgrave, has her pocket picked. Nicaragua can't do much with it. Look at another shot here on a throw-in. 42nd minute. Thanks for coming alongside me today. I'm Jordan Angeli for this Group F game between Trinidad and Tobago and Nicaragua. Lone goal scorer, number 10, Ashton James for Trinidad and Tobago. It was the 17th minute. Nice little dribble through pressure to get the home side up 1-0. Hutchinson just signals to Belgrave to slow it down. Just want to settle it a little bit. Oh, nice skill there. And that's going to be a second yellow for Keedy Johnson. For hands to the face, it looked like the initial play, and she'll be out of this one. Tough play here on the near side. 43rd minute. Red card to Johnson. It was good skill, and there's the hands to the face. She gets megged by Yesenia Flores. Ends up paying the most for it. The second yellow. Now Trinidad and Tobago are up 1, but they're down a player. Just about a minute left in the first half, plus stoppage time, which is probably going to be a few extra minutes due to the cooling break. An opportunity for Nicaragua, and a good spot with the wind to try to level this one up right before halftime. Now up a player. Can they make the most of it? Flores readies herself. Goes short. Looking for a play off the training pitch. The entry ball, just too much zip on it to help control it into the third man run. We're gonna see 2 minutes added to the end of this one. Some decisions for Jones and the Trinidad and Tobago team going through halftime is how are they going to adapt now? Down a player after a red card to Keedy Johnson in the 44th minute. And for Elena Dixon in Nicaragua, how can they adapt a little bit of their structure at halftime to push the pace a little bit? They've had some good plays, but due to the wind, the through balls that they're playing haven't been effective. Tables could turn with that in the second half going against the wind. But right now it's Gilday going 1v1 against Hines. She gets the best of her, sends it across. Chance here for Nicaragua, cleared away last second by Belgrave. Nice little toe poke to get it away from danger. And it's Flores still down. Tough challenge in the middle of the field. She really hasn't moved. Looks to be in a lot of pain. So we're entering that second minute of stoppage time. Here in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago, the host side, up a goal, but down a player. Flores back up to her feet. Walking slowly to the far side. Garcia coming over to the fourth official. Have a little conversation about how the restart's going to happen. Not much time left in this first half. Try to play it back to your goalkeeper, but the wind holds it up. Just an example of what's happened a lot during this first 45 minutes. And that's the end of the first half here at Hasely Crawford Stadium in Trinidad and Tobago, where the home side is up 1-0 over Nicaragua. But a red card in the 43rd minute could change things for the host, Trinidad and Tobago. We'll see what happens in the second 45, but I'll be back in a few minutes with highlights and stats just after this. Welcome back to halftime here for the CONCACAF Women's Qualifiers. Trinidad and Tobago, the nice build-up play, and Asha James puts it away to put the hosts on top here the first 45 minutes. The home side has had a slight advantage in shots. And a little bit more in possession, but it's evened out towards the end of the half. Kenny Johnson was a big part of this play. This goal by Ray Belgrave gets called back for being offside. And we end the half 1-0 in favor of Trinidad and Tobago, and that goal from Asha James that you saw moments ago. But Nicaragua finding some rhythm, finding the ability to pass through the midfield and utilize some of their key players. To the fans at Hasely Crawford Stadium, taking in the sights of today's game. All right, we'll be back for the second half in just a few minutes. Thanks for staying with us. Welcome back, everybody, to Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago, in the Hasely Crawford Stadium, where the hosts, Trinidad and Tobago, lead Nicaragua 1-0 at halftime. See the head coach, Kenwin Jones, longtime international for Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to see Natalie Oriana come in and replace Samiri Villarena. A lot of work from Villarena in the first half for Nicaragua. Natalie, a 21-year-old, coming into the midfield for Nicaragua, who are going to be going against the wind here in the second half. And they're playing up a player as 2 yellow cards were issued to Katie Johnson in the 44th minute. She saw her second yellow card. And the women's soccer warriors of Trinidad and Tobago will play the second 45 minutes, up a goal for right now and down a player. We're underway. This first match between these two in Group F. Each team will play a total of 4 games in the CONCACAF Women's Qualifying, 2 home and 2 away, and 2 different qualifying windows. This one spanning over about the next week, then a following window in April. All with a shot of qualifying for the CONCACAF W Championship this summer. It'll be held in Monterrey, Mexico. As Nicaragua take control of the ball and swing it around all the way to the right side. They play it forward, looking for Flores. Can't connect, and this is going to be tracked down by McFarlane. Taken away by Humphreys and given right back. McFarlane chasing again. Good battle here on the near side. Nicaragua switch the point through Flores. She goes for the inside seam and doesn't put enough on it to get it past defender Belgrave. Belgrave thought she scored a goal about midway through that first half off of a extended corner kick opportunity. She ended up being called offside. Forbes, excuse me, for Trinidad and Tobago in net is going to enjoy having the wind at her back instead of against her in the second half as her punt gets deflected out of bounds. Her team's attacking third, and they win it back. Forbes looking for Belgrave, and they can't connect, and the ball go back into possession for Nicaragua. For Trinidad and Tobago, last year they played 4 international friendlies, all at the end of the year. In October and November, 2 against Panama and 2 against Dominican Republic. Drawing all of them. Just 1 loss to Dominican Republic on November 26th. But leading into this tournament is nice to have a few games under their belt before they set their sights on getting that lone spot in Group F to qualify for the championship this summer. And in the attacking third now, Belgrave chops her defender. Finds the ball to the top of the box. It's James. Now Belgrave. McFarlane, excuse me. McFarlane earns a corner kick. First of this half for Trinidad and Tobago. Be their 5th total in the game. They've looked dangerous off of corner kicks. They did score a goal that got called back in the first half off of a corner. It's going to be Liana Hines with the service. Far post, good looking ball, headed straight into the ground. Still in the mix, just cleared off the sideline by Kelsey Perez. You can see Ray Belgrave just walking towards the ball, playing down a man, up a goal. Be interesting what tactics we see Trinidad and Tobago instill in this second half. Taking a little time out of the game might be one of them. So they just executed there. Shot from distance. It's going to go wide of Alberto. But not a bad look. Asha James with the goal in the 17th minute. She goes from distance with the wind, knowing that it's at her back. Trying to use it to her advantage. Through the midfield. Nicaragua build up the left side. The dribble by Rivera briefly gets taken away. And there's the substitute. Oriana sends it to the far side through Flores. Now Calero. Handball, and it's called right at the top of the box. It's going to be a set piece opportunity here for Nicaragua. And right away, Yesenia Flores runs to the ball. We'll see if it's her who ends up taking the shot. Good look. The skill there. Off the arm of Forbes. Against the wind. Looks like she's lining up to use her right foot. So she's going around the wall. She goes driven through the wall. And Forbes in net actually comes up a little limp after that shot. And Flores doesn't look too happy with her effort there. Ball sent long, chased down by Sarant. Well taken by Alberto, acting as that 11th player on the field, keeping possession. Here's the UCLA player, Jacqueline Gilday. Into space, far side. Good looking build up for Nicaragua. Another option here on the wing, and actually it just hits off of Flores' head. I think the ball was intended to go to the outside for Rivera. Gilday keeps it in initially, but given away. Does look in the second half like Trinidad and Tobago put Lauren Hutchinson in the back of their back four. Slid Belgrave to the left side to occupy that spot where Kadee Johnson was playing before her second yellow card in the 44th minute. Hutchinson helped stabilize the back line. Now playing in more of a 4-4-1 formation is Trinidad and Tobago. Dealt with that one well. And patience from Hines. Big challenge. No call here. Flicked up by Swift. Forbes comes to grab it, and again grabs her leg. She seems to be in a lot of pain. She was kind of grabbing. That last play, it was a shot off the set piece from Flores. She originally looked like she was in pain just a couple seconds ago, and then she pushes off of her left leg, and after landing, immediately grabs her leg. She gets checked out by the training staff. She gets a little treatment. I'll let you know a little bit more about the restructuring of the CONCACAF Women's Qualifiers. CONCACAF really rebranded their women's side back in 2019. During the Women's World Cup, they launched CONCACAF W. And as we just talk over these highlights here of the game so far, CONCACAF W with the intention of getting more opportunities for national teams within the region to play in competitive matches, therefore increasing their structures on national team levels, increasing the number of games, the level of competition, adding assets to these national teams. And really this is what they had in mind. 30 teams in this qualifying round in CONCACAF. Forbes continues to try to walk it off. And these 30 teams now have an opportunity to not only play 4 quality matches, but then make their way into CONCACAF Championship, which is this summer. Try to get one of those 3 spots to the Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand in 2023. Yesterday, at the launch of this, the first day of competition, CONCACAF President Victor Montagliani was just speaking about how today was a hugely important milestone for women's football in our region. You couldn't help but feel inspired. As the games kicked off yesterday, a handful of wins for all home teams in qualifying so far. The home team is on top here, 1-0. Trinidad and Tobago over Nicaragua. But Nicaragua has been pushing in this second half, looking eager to equalize. Gilday. Now Silva. Entry ball into the feet of Galero. Gilday's pass gets deflected. And now it's a break for Serrant, 1v1 with Humphreys, who ends up just getting a piece on it. Maybe got the worst of it in that situation. She takes a second to get up. Maria Frances Serrant saw that the break could be coming. Wasn't anticipating the good recovery run by Humphreys. Track her down, end up pushing it out of bounds. Corner kick here for the women's soccer Warriors. 4 players in the box for them. McFarland, Belgrave, Swift, and Serrant, who just earned the corner. Here's Forbes, the veteran, plays it into the legs of a Nicaraguan defender, and now a break the other way. Pushed out of bounds by Hines, stops the counterattack. Gilday. Good dribbling here by Rivera. Looking to spring through her teammate. Well defended in the end by Trinidad and Tobago. They wanted a foul on that first tackle. They get a foul on the second. Regain possession as the crowd gets into it a little bit here at the Hasely Crawford Stadium. Here's that initial tackle as Flores comes into the legs of Saran, and it looked pretty dangerous. I think enough to warrant a yellow card there. One of those where if it got called, I wouldn't be surprised. A substitute. Ariana gets the ball taken away and then quickly regains possession. She gets fouled by Sorant. 60th minute. Nicaragua with a restart here, deep in their own third. Trinidad and Tobago playing down a player since the 44th minute, where the second yellow card was issued to Johnson, their left back. They've reorganized a little bit, pulled Hutchinson into one of those center back positions, and Karen Forbes was playing slightly more attacking earlier. She's dropped a little bit more defensively in that midfield. Less high pressure from Trinidad and Tobago. More sitting and absorbing, as they're absorbing some pressure here. Rivera, the ball at her feet. She brings in Moreno. James. Can't find anything there, and the ball gets switched around the field by Nicaragua. Here's Gilday. Gilday, ball still at her feet, a good looking cross, oncoming player. There's Flores there. Didn't strike it correctly, ends up deflecting off of another player right into the arms of Forbes, who went down a few minutes ago, grabbing her left lower leg. Seems to be recovered and all right. She sends that one all the way down to the other side for Alberto. See how differently this game plays in both halves, just due to the amount of wind. Center referee Lizette Garcia from Mexico gets the play back rolling. Hines steps up, puts pressure on Nicaragua, wins it again. Hines with another corner kick. James walks over to take the corner kick. Seventh of the game from the corner for Trinidad and Tobago. Save initially by Alberto and then placed in the back of the net. Big goal there for Karen Forbes. Her 7th international goal. She swings for the fences on that one. The service in by James was good enough to just make it difficult. The first shot by McFarland was saved by Alberto, and she couldn't get it away from that second opportunity. from Forbes. She puts her team up 2-0 here, the 65th minute. It was a good against the run of play goal for Trinidad and Tobago. Not only have they been defending a lot in this second half, but they're down a player. About 20 minutes being down a player now. Foul by McFarland. She chased down the back line. And it's Humphreys. Just drags that left leg. She gets some treatment. It looks like it just calf cramp. She gets stretched out. Her coaches look on to make sure Hasely, Humphreys is going to be all right to continue. See the stretcher coming onto the field now. We'll see if it's necessary. We're going to see our first substitution for Trinidad and Tobago. It is going to be Kayla McFarland, who's coming out. And Denesia Prince will be going in, the 23-year-old.
She replaces number 16, Kayla McFarland.
Prince coming in for McFarland in the 67th minute. McFarland did a good job of adding some pressure. We're gonna see another substitution, it looks like.
Substitution, Trinidad and Tobago. Entering the game is number 12, Chelsea Ralph.
Chelsea Ralph will be coming in for Amaya Ellis, and that's a smart call by their head coach, Kenwin Jones. Ellis on a yellow card. They've already seen one player on their team leave for yellow card accumulation. So, better to be safe than down 2 players, I think the saying goes. Chelsea Ralph comes in for Amaya Ellis. Five substitutions total for each team. Can be used across 3 substitution windows. So we've seen one of those windows used for both teams. Silva looking for Flores. It gets taken away by Trinidad and Tobago, and James wanted to find Serrant. Didn't put enough on the pass. Nicaragua, far side. Creeping towards the 70th minute. They need a couple of goals. They're up a player. They've created some better looking opportunities in the second half, just nothing to show for it. 4 shots total for Nicaragua in this match. Good build up through the midfield. Rivera takes on her defender. Pushes it wide to Oriana. Nice pass to find Flores in the middle of the field. Look at all the players for Trinidad and Tobago behind the ball. It's Oriana again. Patience by Nicaragua until that ball looked like a good build-up for them. Just given away by Kelsey Perez. Still some grimacing there by Kamika Forbes. As you heard the whistle being blown, it looks like Trinidad player needs a little bit of treatment on the far side. It's Ray Belgrave. 87 degrees still in Trinidad and Tobago. Right now it started around 86 at kickoff, so it's a warm day. It's a lot of minutes in on these players' legs. High intensity, especially for Belgrave. She's been defending a lot. You can see Rivera here for Nicaragua at the bottom of your screen was getting a little calf stretch in. Nicaragua will make their second substitution.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitution for Nicaragua. Entering the game is number 13, Yancy Aguirre.
Yancy Aguirre will come in. She comes in for Yoseli Humphreys, who was the player down just a few minutes ago for Nicaragua. There's been a couple of players on each team dealing with looks to be some pretty intense calf cramps. We're back underway. We'll see if Belgrave is able to continue or if her head coach, Kenwin Jones, will have to use another substitution as she's on the far sideline. Looks like she's taking in some hydration. But now her team defends. Nicaragua with the ball in their attacking third. Gilday trying to find the feet of Flores, but cleared up and away by Trinidad and Tobago. Flores spins around and passes it back to her center back, Rivera. Moreno in behind the back line. Can she get there? Who last touched it? It is going to be Moreno with the last touch. So a goal kick coming up for Trinidad and Tobago. Two to nothing for the hosts, Trinidad and Tobago. It was James in the 17th minute and Forbes in the 64th to put them up a pair. They've been playing down a player for 30 minutes now. Changed some tactics at halftime, are sitting in a little bit more, less high pressing by Trinidad and Tobago, and they're inviting Nicaragua to have a lot more of the ball. Ball over the top, doesn't connect. Trinidad and Tobago don't go for the initial counter, but might have something here. It's Ralph who just came in. Chelsea Ralph fakes the cross, really good work from her, gets fouled. That's gonna be a free kick for Trinidad and Tobago. And a yellow card being handed out to Kelsey Perez. Hutchinson over top the ball. Can they make a three here? A really good dribble by Ralph to earn the set piece. Top of the box. Shot from distance, blocked away by Silva. And Flores tries to get on the end of it. Can't quite get there. Hines is limping now, goes down. This is our cooling break in the second half. Both teams get some water, get some instructions from their coaches. Coaching staff must be pretty happy with the way the women's soccer warriors have handled the adversity of being down a player for 30 minutes. The first goal was Hutchinson to James. She dribbles so nicely through the back line. Pushes away that final touch, sending it in the back of the net, and then she does the floss. Finally remembered what the dance was called with a little help from a friend. The second goal came off a corner kick in the second half, 64th minute. She scrambled in front of the box. It was a veteran, Forbes, who put it in the back of the net. There's a reaction from her coach and her teammates. They know that that's a big-time goal. We're back underway after the cooling break. Nicaragua looking for a couple of goals to try to get back in this one. Went straight at Victoria Swift, who sends it out of bounds. They keep possession here. Up a man. Can Nicaragua make something happen here? Nice threaded ball through. It was Belgrave who made the play, and she's still down. She was dealing with some calf cramps just a few minutes ago. She's still not up. As that ball off the plant leg of Rivera and out of bounds. Trinidad and Tobago has made one substitution. 2 subs, they've used 1 window. They might be trying to look at if Belgrave is going to be able to continue. They've been down a player since the 44th minute, so the amount of work these women have put in is just that much more. Belgrave is going to come off on the stretcher this time. Now we'll see how they adapt one more time until they can get a substitution on. Looks like Kieran Forbes maybe playing a little bit deeper to help out the back line. As it stands right now, Trinidad and Tobago have 9 players against 11 for Nicaragua. Down a player due to a red card. And Ray Belgrave is off the field, dealing with some cramps. Nicaragua in their attacking box. Gilday couldn't get a shot off, but they keep possession, send it out to the far side. Calero pushed out by Swift. They all look towards the sideline, hoping for some reinforcements, and it's not going to come from their end. It's going to come on the other side. It's Jacqueline Gilday who comes out. That's the last substitution that Nicaragua can use. Jostling.
Substitution for Nicaragua. Entering the game is number 17, Jocelyn Barrios.
Jocelyn Barrios comes in.
Substitution, Nicaragua.
Ball sent into the mix. Did it bounce up and hit a hand? Referee says no. Nicaragua trying to keep the pressure on. Shot from distance. Isn't going to be enough to challenge Forbes, and she uses a little tactics here to take some of those precious seconds off the clock. Less than 8 in this one. Currently 9 players on the pitch for Trinidad. They lost a player with a red card and now playing down a player due to an injury. They're going to end up earning a corner kick through the work of Forbes on the punt and Prince chasing the ball down. Asha James takes her time going over to the corner flag. James, last corner they had, they ended up scoring on. That goes off of Swift. Throw in for Nicaragua. Gonna hold the throw here. Maybe now it's gonna see some players coming in for Trinidad and Tobago. So it is gonna be
substitution, Trinidad and Tobago.
Lorena Francis Sarant coming out.
Entering the game, making a debut, number 3, Shadi Naked.
Shadi Naked making her debut for Trinidad and Tobago. They still have yet to replace Ray Belgrave. Came out a few minutes ago with an injury. Haven't seen her back on the field. If they're gonna replace her, they still have one more substitution window that they could use. looks like they're potentially talking through it as we wait to see what's next. And there it is. Belgrave is going to come off. Abisha Guy will replace her.
Substitution, Trinidad and Tobago. Leaving the game, number 4, Rhea Belgrave. Entering the game, number 2, Abisha Guy. Substitution.
Guy comes in for Belgrave, 55th minute. And now Trinidad and Tobago are back up to 10 players. Been playing the last handful of minutes with just 9 after an injury and an early red card. Good little touch there. Prince nearly got around her defender. She's frustrated that she couldn't, but it's defended well in the end by Martha Silva. And one of the center backs from Nicaragua has had a really good game, breaking up and disrupting plays, and she does so once again right there. James. Good looking ball. Alberto knocks it down and picks up the rebound. It's a good driven ball by her. Gets held up a little bit in the wind, but her teammates start to move the ball down the right flank. Nicaragua bring it to the near side. Moreno lets it go for Perez. Really got it stripped off of her foot. Chelsea Ralph earns the foul. Trinidad and Tobago will restart at their convenience. Playing down a man for 40 minutes now. And they added a goal the second half to make the tally 2-0 for the host side, Trinidad and Tobago. We've seen a handful of games now in this CONCACAF Women's qualifying. This is the 7th game, and in all 7 games, the visiting teams have yet to score a goal. Can Nicaragua make a difference here late in the game? Goal differential matters in this qualification process. Every goal counts. Good build-up from Nicaragua. Sent into the mix, headed straight down, kept in play. Shot from distance, it's gonna go well over the bar. That was Barrios. I think they, maybe you're saying, oh, thought it got deflected, but it's Forbes down again, that same, it's actually a right calf this time. So left one early in the match. The 32-year-old jumped up, make sure the ball was over top of her goal and ends up getting the worst of it there. Trinidad and Tobago have used 4 subs, but they still have 1 more substitution window available for that 5th sub, which might prove to be important because it doesn't look like Forbes is going to be able to continue. If that's the case, they can bring in their last substitution, which will be a goalkeeper. Most likely. The women's soccer warriors talk amongst themselves, figure out a game plan to get through these last few seconds of regulation, and then whatever added time referee Lizette Garcia intends to put on. That'll be it for Kamika Forbes. She's going to be replaced by Tanesha Palmer.
Trinidad and Tobago. Entering the game is number 21, Tanesha Palmer. Leaving the game, number 1, Kamika Forbes. Substitution.
Tanesha Palmer, 27-year-old, now in net.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official on the sideline has indicated that a minimum of 5 minutes will be added.
There'll be a minimum of 5 minutes added to the end of this one. Still an opportunity for Nicaragua with a fresh goalkeeper for Trinidad and Tobago. Hasn't faced any shots. Can they put something on frame that challenges her late in this one? Swift does whatever she can to just send it up. Here comes Ralph. Ralph does enough to earn a corner kick. It'll be James trotting over. James into the mix, volleyed by Ralph, and scooped up by Alberto. Some urgency here from Nicaragua, trying to go forward quickly. Hines regains possession, but can't find anybody in the box to connect with. Flores on the dribble. Flores' pass. Can't find a teammate, and her teammates hunt the ball down, trying to get it back. There's Victoria Swift. It's been a good game in the center of back for Trinidad and Tobago, leading their defensive presence. Good touch. It's Flores looking to slip in Rivera. Still pressure from Nicaragua. Big tackle, but cleaned up by Perez. Moreno on the dribble. Goes straight at the back line. It's still Moreno. She gets tangled. They're going to say there was all ball there, but an opportunity here. Can't get it on frame. Is Barrios, who just came in. Moreno was slow to get up. And Swift is going to take the goal kicks instead of the newcomer, Palmer, who makes her way into goal after Forbes couldn't continue. James, triple teamed, ends up going off a Nicaraguan player. Precious seconds tick off the clock for the home team. Moreno initiates the switch. Silva gets it all the way to the far side. Here come Nicaragua. Punched away. Well out of danger as we enter the final minute of the 5. Good ball in. A chance here. Flores gets it to her left. She chips it with her right and adds one for Nicaragua late in the game. Big time goal there. Yanesia Flores to get one back for her squad. What a nice entry ball in here, just over Hutchinson's head, and then the patience of Flores gets it on her left foot. You think she's gonna go with her left, but she just tricks Palmer there, scoops it up and over with her right foot. Just the third shot on target for Nicaragua all game. They make it count late in stoppage time. Ball gets sent all the way down to the goalkeeper, Alberto. It's a big time away goal there for Nicaragua late in the game to bring it to a 2-1 final in favor of Trinidad and Tobago. Both teams fought hard through the 90+ minutes. About 87-degree temperatures there in Port of Spain. But it's the home side yet again taking the victory, 2-1 Trinidad and Tobago over Nicaragua. Second game in Group F, the first for both of these teams. But the fans cheer on their home side.
Thank you for joining us.
The women's soccer warriors.
Women's qualifying match, and we wish you a
to get a big result at home. Trinidad and Tobago will next go to Dominica on February 20th. For Nicaragua, they will host Turks and Caicos on February 22nd to round out this qualifying. Hasely Crawford Stadium as the host. Trinidad and Tobago in their red kits took on the visitors, Nicaragua, in their white and blue kits. Big smiles all around, representing their home nations. Big moments for both these teams in the CONCACAF Women's Qualifiers. The road to the 2023 Women's World Cup. Well, the Women's Soccer Warriors came out aggressive. They got an opportunity in the 17th minute, and they capitalized. It was Hutchinson to Asha James. Some good footwork to get around a couple defenders, and she ends up flossing it through. Find the back of the net. First half was a lot of Trinidad and Tobago attacking against the wind, a big factor in this game. This we thought was a second goal, and this one Forbes sending it to the far side to Belgrave, who heads it in. It ends up being called offside, so a 2-0 lead ends up being 1-0 at half. Trinidad and Tobago go down a player in the 44th minute. Still created some chances going forward, a lot of them being through Asha James. But being down a player took a toll on Trinidad and Tobago. They sat in more, looked to counter like this, earned a handful of corner kicks. With some of the adjustments from Kenwyn Jones and his squad, they end up getting this corner, which was then put in the back of the net by the captain, Karen Forbes. So scramble in the middle of the 6-yard box. Forbes gets her 7th international goal. Big time from the leader on this squad. Then late in the match, drifting off the back shoulder of Hutchinson is Yanesia Flores. She scoops the ball in to get a goal back for her squad, and right away her hands go into her face. I don't think she can believe that This is really happening, scoring for her home nation. What joy she has. It was a good match here at the Hasely Crawford Stadium, and it ends 2-1 in favor of the home side, Trinidad and Tobago, over Nicaragua in Group F. A lot more soccer to come over the next few days in these CONCACAF Women's Qualifiers. Thanks for joining me. I'm Jordan Angeli. We will see you guys after a while. Thanks for joining us.